Okay, holy crap, that was a crazy session. This is right after the session. I'm holding my camera, so it might be a little unstable. Nah, I don't really feel bad about that. So, the party came back in. They got into the tavern they were fighting at, the Lonely Jester, and they weren't so much fighting. Let me correct myself there. Tim had just died when we last left off. And the party comes back in. Daly realizes that Jonathan wants to get the hell out of there, and he wants to take Ruben's character with him and get him back to the Bardic College. I'm sorry, Wizard College. So he grabs that character and very quickly jumps out a window, rolls really bad, because I decided to randomly decide what was underneath it. Rolls really bad. Turns out it's concrete and lawn gnomes. So Ruben's character takes a good chunk of damage as he's chunked out the window, very carefully and lovingly. Daly's character goes after him, and the rest of the party managed to start a fight in the tavern upstairs, and they're kicking in doors and causing a huge ruckus. And Patricia joined us this weekend, and she gets into a fight with the bouncer there, and ends up throwing him down the stairs, landing on RJ's new character, and about damn near smothering him. So that happens. The party gets into a huge fight and everything, and they all end up bailing out the windows when they realize they're outnumbered. While they're outside, they take this really highly explosive drink called Daybreak, chuck it at the door, and then RJ throws a alchemist fire, igniting it along with all the vapor inside the building. Whole building collapses. Everything turns to rubble. People are dying. Party slips away, goes to the guard shack, gets stuck in the drunk tank overnight, and they meet a fantastic patrol officer named Dumb Dan, and Dan takes them and keeps them locked up. RJ's character starts giving Dan shit and starts giving who he thinks the guard captain, which was actually Daly in disguise, shit. Daly tells him, okay, put him in solitary, you know. So Dumb Dan takes him to solitary and does with every person who goes to solitary. He has tea with them. All he does for 12 hours is continually offers RJ's character tea. Nothing else, just does that over and over in a silent room. Drove RJ's character batshit crazy. He didn't actually go insane, so lucky for that. Then the party basically spends the next day doing all kinds of crazy shit, just like trying to sow rumors, and they're doing research, and they're doing a bunch of in-character stuff that was, roleplay-wise, really interesting. Not that effective, though. Finally, they come across a group of flyers advertising a fundraising dinner. So Daly goes through the long process of negotiating and selling off a ton of the loot that they had for quite some time, raises funds to get several people in, and then the party doesn't use that. Instead, Randall sneaks in. Dom, Patricia, and Tim all get hired on as bouncers with some good roles. Brian and RJ get hired on as singers, and Brian bought some additional instruments, and it was just him, RJ, and Daly started playing the instruments. It was pretty hilarious. It was a good time. They get into there. We finally get into this big old boss fight, which, let me add this in to the video. Alright, we got that fantastic room right there. Alright, they meet up with Mr. Fauzens and Mrs. Fauzens. And they go through the whole rigmarole with them. They end up fighting. Turns out Mrs. Fauzens is a hybrid wood nymph as well as Medusa, and starts turning people to wood statues. Really crazy stuff. Anyway, so that happens. They get into a ton of fights. We end up losing Tim. Tim gets turned to a statue. Up in the rafters, Randall gets turned to a statue. RJ's character on stage, he gets turned into a statue, and it was pretty traumatic. We lost several party members. It made me sad. But Dom used message, told Terrence Tino, the vampire chicken, the cockfighting chicken, to attack and kill. And tons of damage went out. Long story short, I'm running out of time because I really need to fix this phone. Running out of time. But anyway, kill off Mr. Fauzens, and now Longtooth owes him big time. And it was a fantastic session. Tons of great role playing. Loved it today, guys. And I'll see you next weekend.